Okay, Germany, Germany, Germany. Deutschland. Look, Germany is that one particular team that is really making a statement. They're really making a statement in terms of, their title credentials. Could they do another Cote d'Ivoire? Could they be another Cote d'Ivoire? Winning a continental trophy on home soil? Could they? We only hope we wait. We wait because clearly right now they are showing that they want to win. They've already scored 7 goals in 2 matches. Yep, 7 goals in 2 matches. So it already gives you that kind of signal that look, Germany is already setting their sights on winning on home soil. You understand? Which one was the last European country that won on home soil? I don't remember. France almost did. They were runners up in 2016. Portugal were runners up in 2004 against Greece on home soil. So I don't remember which country were. I think it was Spain in 1964. Yes, I can only remember Spain being the only host nation to actually win a continental trophy on home soil. Right? I don't remember any other country. Whereas England, they lost in the finals previously in the previous tournament against Italy. You understand? So at Wembley Stadium, basically that was home soil for England. Okay? Because Wembley Stadium is in England. It's in the capital of England, which is London. Yeah. So Germany, could they do another Cote d'Ivoire? You understand? Remember, Cote d'Ivoire won the African Cup of Nations on home soil. You understand? Even when the odds were stacked against them, remember Cote d'Ivoire, they were just very fortunate to actually make it to the next round and actually go all the way to actually clinch that trophy. So perhaps Germany is the one team that is really making a statement in terms of them wanting to win. So, yes, they defeated Hungary by 2 goals to nil. It was like basically, very comfortable for them, right? Now that makes them through to the, knockout stages on 6 points. It was the goals from Jamal Musiala as well as Ilkay Gündogan that ensured Germany become the first team to actually confirm their place in the Euro knockout stage. You understand? And in emphatic fashion, in deserved fashion, right? This game took place at the Stuttgart Arena, the home ground of FC Stuttgart, that participate in the German Bundesliga, right? So Germany were obviously expected to win this game, right? In this particular encounter, they found it more difficult. It was a much more difficult, match day compared to their 5-1 victory over Scotland in match day one. But credit to Julian, Nagelsmann's side. They had enough about them to actually get 3 points, which ensured that they would at least finish as the best third place team in the group stage, right? So after an even opening, Musiala, became the first player to actually score more than once at this, particular tournament. You understand? Adding to his strike against, Scotland last week by blasting in from close range to give the host the lead, and Manuel Neuer making his 17th Euro appearance to go level with Gianluigi Buffon's goalkeeping record, was also called into action on 26 minutes when he actually did. That was a brilliant save to actually deny a curling Dominic Szoboszlai free kick. That was a wonderful free kick by Dominic Szoboszlai. Remember, he also did play in Germany for a while. He played on the books of RB Leipzig before that big money move to, Liverpool at Anfield. And then following that particular moment in time, Hungary, they did really want to get into the game. They were just unable to really get the ball into the back of the net. They did create some promising openings. They really did create some good opportunities, but unfortunately, they were not able to take them. It was not meant to be because Manuel Neuer did make some great saves, and also give credit to Germany's defense. You understand? Germany's defense was rock solid in this particular game, and they've been rock solid in the 2 games that we've seen. They were just very unlucky to score that own goal in that match day against Scotland. And following that, Tony Kroos came close to actually doubling Germany's lead 10 minutes in the second half, but his deflected effort was just clawed away by Peter, Kulakski, before Barnabas Varga, headed narrowly over, Hungary. But this particular game was effectively settled when Maximilian, Mittel starts, low cross was actually beautifully stroked in, into the back of the net by Ilkay Gündogan to actually make sure that Germany's place in the round of 16 is actually confirmed. But again, Germany, there's been a lot of racism of very late. And the fact that, Gündogan is actually being criticized, due to the fact of his Turkish roots, So now he's basically going through what Mesut Ozil went through. You understand? And what even makes it worse, remember now that he's the captain. And some German fans don't actually like that. They don't approve of that because of his Turkish roots. It's funny. It's really weird to me. I don't understand why they're still doing that. You understand? It just, because you need a sort of, you need depth in your squad. You need diversity in your squad. You understand? Well, I will say, some African players, the likes of Musiala, Leroy Sané, Antonio Rudiger, perhaps they should be playing for their African countries, but it's not really a big deal, okay? It's not much of a big deal, so that's why I say racism should just end very quickly. And people must understand the difference between racism and classism. There's a difference. But Ilkay Gündogan really played a pivotal role in Germany actually securing all 3 points in this particular match against, Hungary. An assist for the first goal, and then he scored the second himself. He was very clever and consistent. And it was difficult against a low block. And he had to keep his confidence, but he got his rewards eventually. So, looking at Germany's performance, the mini spell has been broken, With Germany beating Hungary for the first time in 4 matches, they were strongest, in the 15 minutes, before halftime, and they had most problems in the first 20 minutes after the break. So those fluctuations in momentum always happen during a tournament, but they did well against a disciplined, opponent, and their mission to remain flawless during the group stage is well on track. After they remain positive and aggressive despite, going 2 up. You understand? And you look at Hungary on the other side, Marco Rossi's side can still hold their heads up high. After this particular defeat, they really showed resilience and tenacity. They just lacked that a little bit of quality in front of goal. And what I can just say is that they still have a chance of securing progression. Provided if they beat Scotland in the last game, they need to get all 3 points. You understand? Perhaps they can finish as the best third place team, but remember now, it's going to be kind of difficult for them because remember, they've got a goal difference of -4. So I'm just wondering how will they be able to progress, because with that -4 goal difference, remember they already conceded 3 goals against Switzerland and they conceded 2 against Germany. So which means that they're -4 because they also got themselves on the score sheet in that first game against Switzerland, So with Scotland are still to come, and Hungary will be confident of getting a result on Sunday should they actually play the way they played in today's game. But I will just say qualification is likely to be out of their hands, because if they are to qualify, they must at least win by 4 goals clear, in the next game against Scotland. They really need to win by 4 goals clear. Germany have only lost 1 of their last 12 Euro group stage matches. And Nagelsmann's team actually kept a clean sheet for the first time in 8 Euro matches, And Germany's total of 7 goals scored in the group stage so far means they've already, beaten their highest tally in the Euro group. The 6 that they actually managed to conjure up at Euro 2020 with a game to spare. And on the other side, Manuel Neuer made his 17th Euro appearance, and he does go level with Bastian Schweinsteiger on Germany's all-time record of 18 should he play against Switzerland. And Hungary are basically without victory in 8 Euro matches since their 2-0 victory over Austria in their opening fixture of Euro 2016. Whereas Rossi's side have basically only been able to conjure up 1 clean sheet in 13 Euro matches, which was that 2-0 victory against Austria in 2016. And none of Hungary's 13 Euro matches have ended goalless, And to actually further, raise a further point is that Adam Nagy, made his 8th Euro appearance, and now he has the most all-time appearances in the tournament for Hungary, beating Adam Szalai's record. So tough luck for Hungary, but hopefully, it's all in their hands. They just need to win by 4 goals clear if they are to qualify for the next round. Right. Still continuing with Group A. Okay. Scotland won, Switzerland won. It was a game that was it was evenly matched. Both teams came to the party. I was even surprised with Scotland's performance. I was really surprised. Not to say that I was actually impressed, but I was just surprised. Clark's men, they do keep their Group A hopes alive, following that 5-1 trashing to Germany, okay? And they shared the spoils with Switzerland in Cologne. It was basically, I'll describe this particular result as a frantic draw between Scotland as well as Switzerland. Scott McTominay, Scotty Tillhardy, as Man United fans normally refer him to, as well as Sheridan Shaqiri. It was basically them who swapped the goals. And Switzerland played out to an entertaining 1-1 draw in their second match of the Euro 2024. Let's get straight to it. What went down in this particular game? What went down in Cologne, guys? What went down? Okay. Although just that, these sides, it was only their second match of the tournament, right? And this Group A encounter had the feeling of it being a knockout game. Not at least because Scotland's position in the group and the intense backing that they receive from their fans is still really there, man, because, with huge roars greeting everyone, throw in a 50-50 tackle, the players responded and they were soon in the lead. Andy Robertson, the Liverpool man, broke clear down the left and then he fed it to, Callum McGregor, whose cutback was struck goalwards by McTominay. And then Jan Sommer looked certain to collect, but Fabian Schär stuck out a leg and diverted the ball into the top corner. So that was, I guess, the perfect start for the Scots. Or you can say the perfect response for the Scots. Remember following that 5-1 trashing to Germany. And that was a great response. Taking the lead against Switzerland, one of the most informed teams. One of the teams that I can also say are the favorites. Because Switzerland, in over the previous tournaments have really been impressive. I mean, Switzerland, think about it. They haven't missed. They've qualified for every World Cup and every Euro tournament ever since. So 2010 they were there. 2014 they qualified. They were knocked out by Argentina, the eventual finalists. 2018 they were there. 2022 they were also there. So Switzerland is a great team. You understand? They're very competitive and they've been producing superstars over the year. Sheridan Shaqiri is one of them. Granit Xhaka is one of them. Currently they've got Brilliant Bolo. They also have Akanji. Kanji is our Nigerian boy, but he chose to represent Switzerland because he was born and bred there. So it's okay. It's okay. But let's just continue with Scotland. The Tartan army was sent into raptures, but the joy did not actually last long. Switzerland were level, just before the half-hour mark. Making his first appearance of the tournament, Sheridan Shaqiri, a legend, was occupying a central role. He did occupy a central role for, I think that was where the coach assigned him. And he did it so well. We know Shaqiri how he is, because Shaqiri is a player who normally drifts on the wing, right? But in this particular lineup, his responsibility was more in that playmaking role in the central, of the park, right? That central attacking role, I meant to say. And just when Anthony Ralston, you understand, slipped a loose pass inside, he latched onto it very well, bending a brilliant first-time effort past Agnes, Gunn. The second, the Scotland goalkeeper then had to be very sharp to deny Dan Ndoye, as the game's pace refused to settle down. I mean, it was one of those games where it's like, this game could go either way, surprisingly. I was very surprised. I mean, I was more surprised by Scotland's performance. The fact that they went on about with their business, they didn't even show that they wanted to give up. You understand? Steve Clark's men really suffered a blow on the hour, as Tierney was actually forced off with a hamstring injury, trying to stop Ndoye, who could only shoot very wide of goal. And then Grant Hanley, when headed a Robertson free kick against the post, and the game remained in the balance. So, it could go either way. It could go either way. And imagine if Scotland were to actually win this game, if they won this game, had they taken their chances, it would have been a remarkable story. What a remarkable story that could have been. But look, McTominay, also he had a volley while Ndoye continued to look dangerous. Now, from the left-hand side, with Breel Mbolo having entered the fray, another Swiss substitute, Zeki Amdouni, headed just wide as the game slipped into added time. But it was actually Scotland, that did all the pressing at the end. Although they were unable to give their fans the second goal they craved, they have at least kept their Euro dreams alive of progressing to the knockout stage. But guys, I just think these are just dreams. I don't see Scotland going to the next round. Sorry, I don't see them beating Hungary, or Dominic Szoboszlai. No ways. But where Switzerland, they move on to 4 points behind an already qualified Germany in Group A. So, yeah, man, there's still much to play for. But I think Switzerland will qualify because they're on 4 points. They will definitely qualify. They will. But look, who was I most impressed by? Who's my man of the match? I'll obviously say my man of the match was Akanji. Yeah, the Man City man, Manuel Akanji. He was very dominant in the air. And he was very pivotal in that back line, that defense for Switzerland. Because if you look at that back three for Switzerland, it was so well composed. It was so organized. Well composed on the ball, excellent in the build-up, and four breathtaking passes, man. You understand? He did so well, Akanji. I mean, I was very impressed by his performance. He made so many interceptions. You understand? And he was very pivotal in actually denying Scotland so many goal scoring opportunities. So Akanji, in my opinion, he is the man of the match. So look, let me evaluate both sides, their performance. On the side of Scotland, it was actually a game that was played like a knockout tie. But a point apiece feels like a fair result after a pulsating game in Cologne. Scotland thought they had actually won it when Henley's header was actually crashed back off the post, and again when McTominay, threatened to score his second of the evening. It's a big point for Scotland though, as it actually maintains their hopes of progressing to the knockout stages of a major tournament for the first time. Okay, history could be there in the making, but I don't think it's gonna happen now. Maybe next time, Scotland. Next time. And look at Switzerland. Faced a Scotland side with their backs against the wall. The Swiss, at times, they look very frantic and unsettled. They really did. And they knew it would be an intense, tough game. A very intense game. Very tough. And have Shaqiri to actually thank for ensuring that they return with a point. Because tournament football doesn't actually leave much time to dwell on the result. However, the focus will now have to shift immediately to their all-important final group game against Germany. It is going to be a very important game for both sides, both Germany and, Switzerland. But Germany have already qualified. So Switzerland, they need just a point to actually go to the next round from that particular game, right? And Shaqiri is actually the only European player to have actually scored in each of the last 6 Euro and World Cup tournaments. It is actually the first time Scotland have gained at least a point in a Euro game in which they've conceded, having lost, their previous 6 matches when shipping a goal. And John McGinn has appeared in Scotland's last 31 games in all competition. The longest run since Tom Boyd played 38 consecutive matches from August 1995 till, June 1999. Switzerland named their oldest ever Euro starting 11, which is basically an average age of 30 years old, 119 days. And again, what also has to be noted is the fact that this is basically the first time, since scoring 3 in 1992 that Scotland have actually found the net more than once at the Euro. Shaqiri has now appeared in 7 Euro and World Cup tournaments, a Switzerland record, and Switzerland have just, lost one of their last 12 Euro matches. So that's why I say they are the favorites, because look, they've been very impressive in this tournament over, especially in the previous tournament. Remember, they're the ones that knocked out France in the quarterfinals, even though it was a penalty shootout. This has to be one of the craziest games I've seen so far in the tournament. This game between Croatia and Albania. A 2-2 draw. Croatia had it in their hands. But it seems like, they were just unlucky in this game. Jasula, it was a great redemption with that late equalizer. Klaus, Jasula, last strike cancelled out earlier with his own goal that he scored, right? He scored an own goal. Basically, he scored on either side of the pitch, okay, to actually level the match in dramatic fashion. Wow. I mean, give credit to Croatia. Croatia produced a much improved second half showing in Hamburg, only to be pegged back at the death by a plucky Albania in their second game of the Euro 2024 Group B, as their near neighbors shared the points in the first ever meeting. And it was the first ever meeting between these two sides, you know. The stadium was rocking. Volkspark Stadion was rocking. It was rocking. The chants from both sets of fans, reverberated around the stadium from the moment the team stepped out of the tunnel. Having lost their opening group stage matches, you understand, both sides knew that defeat was no option. And thus it was actually a crazy affair ensued in Hamburg. Yeah, man, I mean, let's just continue. Look, with both sides knowing that, they lost their opening games, they understood that, defeat is no option coming into this one. So it then led to a very cagey affair. You understand? A very cagey affair ensued in Hamburg. So it was like, content to slow the tempo. Albania soon became comfortable in possession. Surprisingly, they were very comfortable. And then almost out of nowhere, Kazim, Lachi broke free at the end of the near post, right? Towards the near post to glance, a Jasir Ansani pinpoint volley from the right. It was another quick goal, opening goal from Silvino's men. And from that particular moment in time, I was actually surprised that, Albania were actually dominating possession. Knowing Croatia, a team of their capability, a team of their class, you understand? Them actually being dominated by Albania for like some parts of the game actually came as a surprise to me. But Albania is a team that is actually showing so much fight. Croatia were momentarily shaken, right, from that. And the Eagles saw their opportunity go again. This time Nadim Barami, darted into the danger zone, but to the relief of, Zlatko Delic, failed to actually test Dominik, Livakovic. Now pressing higher up the pitch, Croatia engineered their first real threat as Marcelo, Brozovic's it wasn't a very anxious, snapshot, which flew well wide. But, Albania were very unfazed. They were unfazed. You understand? They continued to actually push for a second goal. And in the 31st minute, remember, shortly after the half-hour mark, Livakovic was actually forced to actually deny, Kristen Aslani, I meant to say. And despite actually sitting deep to actually protect their advantage, Albania breached the Brozovic-protected Valtreni backline once more. Before halftime. However, Livakovic, dealt with Ray Manach's close-range header. You understand? And it was that particular sort of game where it's like, I'm there in my feelings. I'm thinking, Albania should just score 3 before halftime. They could have long won this game had they taken some of their chances. You understand? Because they were the better of the sides in the first opening 45 minutes. They were the better of the two sides. And with the interval, introduction of Mario, Pasalic, as well as Luko Sucic, Croatia produced, 2 decent chances. Thomas Strakosha, got a strong hand to Sucic's powerful shot before Pasalic fired over. And Dalic's team were now enjoying their best spell of the game. And as Albania's energy levels, waned down, Croatia's threat increased. Vatreni were actually probing for a chink in the Albanian armor. And eventually in the 74th minute, their breakthrough came as Albania switched off. Andrej Kramaric, the former Leicester City man, found the bottom corner to actually restore parity. That was his first Euro goal on his 33rd birthday. Wow, man, what a way to actually score, man. Your first Euro goal on your 33rd birthday. Huh, Kramaric, the former Leicester City man? Huh, Kramaric? Yeah, man, the Euro is a big tournament. Remember, Kramaric did score against Russia in the quarterfinals of the 2018 World Cup. So, mind you, man, he does have a great scoring record. He's like, a super sub for this Croatian team. He's a very important member of this Croatia side. And 2 minutes later, Croatia struck again. Plus, Jasula deflating into his own net amid a goal-mouth scramble. You know what? It was from that particular moment in time where I was like, wow, man, Croatia, what a turnaround, man. What a turnaround. And still turning the screw until the final time whistle. Croatia's tremendous second half performance looked to have actually secured them all 3 points. However, this is a great tournament. This is a big tournament. In a dramatic twist, Jasula, who only came on in the 72nd minute, found redemption by driving in a low last gasp leveler. You know, both sides duly claimed their first points of Euro 2024. Huh. What a game that was, man. What a game. And Kramaric, for me, he was my man of the match. You understand? Because Kramaric, he always found the right solutions. He was excellent to play in the middle. And basically, Kramaric is that type of a player who always makes the difference. And he made the difference for Croatia. Croatia are yet to suffer defeat. They're at their second match of the Euro, but this one could feel like a loss. Having gone ahead via a quick-fire double that included Kramaric's well-worked goal on his 33rd birthday, the turnaround was almost complete. With the team moments away from sealing a much-needed victory, Albania leveled, and now Dalic's men must turn their attentions, to their final match against Italy. Whereas, on the side of Albania, it was actually an excellent response from Silvino's men. After going to a pair of goals in a space of 3 minutes, the first half display was definitely encouraging after the opening Group B defeat to Italy, with Albania actually showing today that they had actually learned their lessons from going ahead early in the tournament football. And the team also showed determination after falling behind to Jasula's unfortunate own goal, with the substitute himself hitting an emphatic equalizer, and that was actually basically redemption at its best, at its finest. Look, this was actually the first international meeting between both these sides. And Croatia have never lost their second match in the Euro. You understand? So that's actually a record that they can protect. Albania have only won, one of their last 5 Euro matches. Whereas Croatia have just kept only one clean sheet in their last 13 Euro matches. Right? Only one of Croatia's 23 Euro matches have finished without a goal being scored, and this was their 0-0 draw against Switzerland in their opening game of Euro 2004. Albania have scored the first goal in their last 3 Euro matches. Andrej Kramaric struck his first Euro goal for Croatia on his 33rd birthday, and Albania are the 15th different team that Croatia have faced in a Euro. Luka Modric has now appeared in 5 Euro final tournaments for Croatia. His total of 15 appearances overall is more than any other Croatian player. By making his 117th appearance for Croatia, Luka Modric has moved past Gianluigi Buffon into the outright third in terms of most capped UEFA players, only behind Spain's Sergio Ramos as well as Cristiano Ronaldo of Portugal with 208 national appearances. Whew, Jesus Christ. La Española! Viva la Española! Hey! So yeah, this was basically a repeat of the 2012, final. Right? The 2012 Euro final. Obviously, Spain won that one emphatically by 4-0. We remember that one where they had the golden generation, the David Silva, Andres Iniesta, Xavi Hernandez, Sergio Busquets, Cesc Fabregas, Juan Mata, Fernando Torres, David Villa. Whew, the list goes on. The list goes on. It just goes on. Spain were unstoppable during those times. And surprisingly, yes, this might be a different generation, but I don't think much has changed. Yes, in terms of, them keeping the ball, in terms of the players that, that could actually hold the ball for long periods of times, it has actually changed. But let me just say it's not actually the same. But look, to be honest with you guys, I don't think there's much difference. You understand? The difference is that, yes, most of these players in this current Spain squad are young. Lamine Yamal, Nicholas Williams, Pedri, Fermin Lopez, Oh, guys, I'm excited to watch these boys, man. Especially when you talk about Lamine Yamal, as well as Nicolas Gonzalez. Oh, these boys are exciting to watch. Italy, I think they're not going to defend their title. They're definitely not going to defend their title. If they are to defend it, It'll require sheer luck. Sheer luck. It'll require so much luck for them to defend their title. So that Calafiori own goal, it did settle, the heavyweight contest, right? As La Roja, basically they've won Group B, So Spain basically have sealed first place in the Euro 2024 Group B with a game to spare, thanks to Ricardo Calafiori's own goal. You understand? In Gelsenkirchen. Gelsenkirchen. That's the name of the place. And that particular ground is the home ground of Schalke FC. Yes. Where players like Leroy Sané made a name for themselves. Even Mesut Ozil made a name for himself at that particular club. Especially even Manuel Neuer also made a name for himself at that particular club. So that's the home ground to that team. Yes, sir. So let's get straight back into business. What actually happened in this particular game? Yes, both sides named a familiar lineup after their opening victories. The fit again, Aymeric Laporte coming into the center of the defense in Spain's only change. While Italy stuck with the side that came back from conceding after 23 seconds to beat Albania. The Azzurri nearly undone again early on. The trickery of Nicholas Williams down the left-hand side, creating a headed chance for Pedri, whose effort was just tipped over the bar by Gianluigi Donnarumma, flying as high as he could. The GG man. Williams himself passed up an even better chance in the 10th minute, flashing a header wide when in space in front of goal. And Spain continued to ask more questions from that particular moment in time. But Donnarumma had to be very on high alert to actually block out Alvaro Morata's angled effort and promptly dived to his left to actually flick over a long-range drive from Fabian Ruiz, who subsequently had a shot blocked by Alessandro Bastoni. A couple of characteristic forays, down the left-hand side from Federico Di Marco, aside, Italy had struggled to actually find a route from Spain's to the Spain penalty area. And Luciano Spalletti responded by bringing on, Brian Cristante as well as, Andrea Cambiaso at the break. But, that failed to actually stem the flow of traffic towards the Italy goal. And again, Pedri might have broken the deadlock, firing a gilt-edged chance. That was a great cross from Marc Cucurella. A great cross. Pedri should have done better, man. He should have. Okay? But from that particular moment in time, just finally, the breakthrough did come. It arrived. Although from an unexpected source, it was no surprise that the move originated from the, left-hand side. With Williams, however, his cross flicked on by Morata, Donnarumma could only get fingertips to the header and the ball rebounded off, Calafiori. The goalkeeper tipped another Morata effort as Spain, sought to actually press their advantage. And Cambiaso clearing off his own line moments later, Jamal then curled just wide. And although Cristante's cross into the Spain goal mouth reminded them of Italy's strength. You understand? Italy, yeah, they do have some threats, but I mean, this Italy side is not the Italy that I remember, man. The Italy that used to get me off my seat, man. That used to get me on the edge of my seat. The likes of Andrea Pirlo, Alessandro Diamanti, Francesco Totti, Alessandro Del Piero, Antonio Di Natale, Mario Balotelli, Remember, oh man, Italy. This is not the Italy side that we remember. Gennaro Gattuso, Remember? Daniele De Rossi. What happened to that Italy side? Or is it true that they say, in football there's an era? Every sort of team, especially at national team level, there's always an era. Because Brazil are no longer the powerhouses of football. Because currently, when I look at this current Brazil generation, oh my goodness, yes, they've got the quality players, but the performances in that national team, when they don that national team jersey, it's horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. So Italy, yes, they do have the threats, but, La Roja responded in kind. I mean, Williams was just lively, man. Cutting inside from the left, thumping a shot against the crossbar from the corner of the area. And with time running out, Italy tried to actually work up, ahead of steam. But Cristante's flick, comfortably gathered by Unai Simon, was actually as close as they came to actually stopping Spain from securing their place in the round of 16. Indeed, the three-time champions might have increased their margin of victory in the final stages. Donnarumma again denying the substitute Ayoze Perez twice in added time. But my man of the match, definitely, let's cut it short. Nicholas Williams, we all know that. He was a constant threat every time he had the ball, and he was positive in every 1v1 situation. He had some good regains and was solid defensively, plus he created the goal and hit the ball. A great individual display, man. And then look at Spain, man. Spain, they were wonderful. It's like a wonderful, daring, aggressive performance, and one which, it needed to earn a much bigger prize. Spain thrilled. The neutrals will have adopted them. Pedri was outstanding, but they couldn't go through the gears in terms of chance conversion. You understand? But look, this match was emphatic. I enjoyed it. It's just disappointing that it was only one goal that was scored. But hey, on the side of the Azzurri, they were fortunate just to lose by only one goal. Very fortunate. They failed dismally to Spain for most of the game. Only a series of saves by the wonderful Donnarumma spared Italy from a much heavier defeat. Spain almost won every duel, with Nicholas Williams, who was basically unstoppable, and they fully deserved the victory and first place in the group. The Azzurri now, face a decisive match day 3 meeting with Croatia to reach the round of 16. Most definitely they might, but I hope Croatia beat them, man. I just hope. Last dance for Luka Modric. Spain have now won 3 games in a row against Italy and are unbeaten in the last 6 matches against them. The Azzurri have failed to score for the first time in 11 matches in the tournament. And excluding penalty shootouts, this was Italy's first defeat in 11 matches. You understand? So this was the 8th Euro final tournament meeting between Spain and Italy, a competition record, and the 5th consecutive Euro final tournament in which they have faced each other. Spain have now won 2 of those 8 Euro matches. The other victory was a 4-0 success, as I mentioned earlier on in the 2012 final. Spain have only lost 1 of their last 14 Euro group matches. La Roja have kept 8 clean sheets in their last 10 group fixtures in the tournament. This is only the 3rd time Spain have started a Euro final tournament with 2 victories, after 2008 as well as 2016. And Pedri has made 12 appearances in the Euro and FIFA World Cup tournaments, matching the European record for a player aged 21 or younger set by Cristiano Ronaldo. Riccardo Calafiori is only the 2nd Italian to score an own goal in a Euro or World Cup, and the first since Christian Zaccardo against the United States at the 2006 World Cup. Oh, yes, records get broken for the right and the wrong reasons. Unfortunately, that's how it is.